Yeah.
Let's take a look at the number one pick odds. Not who goes number one, Chris, but who actually makes the pick, courtesy of our friends at DraftKings. As you see, this was a change this week. The Titans and Giants are now tied at the top of the board at minus 105. There's reports that a trade to number one would cost the Giants 2 day 2 picks, not their first rounder next year. That remains to be seen. But, Chris, basically the bottom line is when two teams are tied at the top, that's telling you the sportsbook and the public just has no idea.
Yeah, no idea. I mean, the Giants are not only have the top odds to have the first overall pick, they also have the top odds to get Aaron Rodgers. So that just tells you that there's no idea what the hell's going on. We don't know where they're at. Most of these teams, I don't think, know exactly where they're at yet. They're probably getting close here because they're starting to figure out, like, wait, were we going to get one of the guys we want in free agency or not? Or do we have to really start pivoting to, like, draft and doing that and figuring out the guy through the draft? I mean, as I said before, I got no problem with Cam Ward being number one. Abdul Carter, I know, has been thrown in that conversation. As we said last week, I don't know if it's as a slam dunk as everybody seems to put it out there. And I don't even know that from a bunch of people in football. I'm not even trying to say it that way. I'm just talking about from my logic, from what I've seen, from hearing some of the off-the-field stuff with him. Like that, I just go, I don't think that's a slam dunk, like him just being the number one pick. And as I think, too, with Cam Ward specifically, I think it's one of those where some of the important evaluators who might be just getting into, like, the quarterbacks in the draft, they're going to look at it and go, damn, I mean, it's good.
Right.
Like, well, what the hell? Right? Now it's just
what have our scouts been doing?
The odd thing here is, and I would say like for both teams, go to number one, do it, but they're both in a circumstance too of like it's big year. And I could see both coaching staffs being fired if things don't work out.
Sure.
Then there's no question about that. And both teams have, other holes, especially Tennessee, where they got to try to address and try to make themselves, competitive in the AFC South. So that's where I'm interested there. There's just a feeling, it's a gut feeling that I think the Giants are going to make the move.
I think so too.
I think so.
You just look around, like who's the desperate man at the bar?
But they're the desperate man at the bar, and I guess I feel that way, especially if they don't get Rodgers, right? Because I still have a hard time thinking Shane and Daboll are going to want to do the rookie quarterback thing. I have a hard time believing that. And where the hardest and the magic of this conversation with the Giants is going to be, and where the Tisch family and the Mara's got to make sure they stay on top of this, is let's make sure we don't have like an awesome grade on Cam Ward and we think he's the man, but we're not going to take him because our decision makers want to save their ass for a year, right? That's the tough thing that I think for the Giants. Like if they have a grade on Cam Ward, and you're going, damn, he could be the quarterback here for the next 8 to 10 years, right? I hope we don't just let Shane and Daboll just go, well, I need to win this year. The hell with that guy and that grade and all that. That's where, yes, some higher-ups are going to have to get involved in the conversation and tone that down a little bit.
Do you think when you have a regime that desperate, though, that they almost have to do both? Because it's like you're going in saying, we got Aaron Rodgers because we need to win some games immediately. But there's a world where you have Aaron Rodgers and you don't win a lot of games. But then if you have Cam Ward on the roster, it's like, well, we also have this plan.
I hear you.
You're covering your ass entirely.
You are covering.
I think
your
that's
ass.
where they're going.
You are covering your ass. Or do they go, Aaron Rodgers, and then somewhere later in the draft they take a Jackson Dart and go, hey, look, he could be our starter going forward. I know he's not Cam Ward, but we like him a lot. Right? Those are options. Those are things they're going to have to figure out there. But I'm about as intrigued by this first pick and what's going to happen here and at the top of the draft. And it's really one of the reasons I'm anxious about diving into my film study here, because I don't have a gauge about how good some of these guys are at the top of the draft to go, wait, are they worthy of the number one? I'm at the quarterback for some of these defensive ends, some of these other positions, and that's what I got to figure out from my own knowledge.
And free agency might give us some hints. If the Giants have plenty of holes on that roster, if they go nuts in free agency, Jerry Reese and Dave Gettleman, they both spent a lot of money their final years. They go nuts in free agency. Maybe that's a sign to us that they know they're going to be trading their day 2 picks
to
move up.
Right.
Where it's like, man, we thought we can get that starter at D tackle in the second round. We're not going to have that pick anymore. We better go pay this
blah,
guy.
blah, blah, to go get him.
Yes. There's always breadcrumbs.
There's breadcrumbs. You're going to be able to tell directions teams are going or thinking just by these early first few days of free agency. Thanks for watching Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Hey, just because the season's over, it doesn't mean we're over. We ain't going anywhere. The NFL never dies.
We're staying right here. Hit subscribe. We got every NFL move. We'll react to that. Plus, Chris has got 4,719 draft prospect profiles to do.
Thanks again for watching. Subscribe. You know where to find us. Peace out, homies.